Please could we be given warning at the beginning of a programme if there's going to be anything about the Beatles, as all Beatle fans can make sure to listen, and have a chance to ring up other fans to make sure they are also listening.
Hi everybody, this is John here. This is Paul, George,
and Ringo.
And we're very happy to be on your program once again.
Welcome to the newest edition of Beatles News Briefs, show number 105. Today, we are pleased to have Charles Rosenay and Chachi Loprete joining us to discuss an exciting event they will be emceeing this Sunday, November 16th in Arlington, Massachusetts, featuring two acts managed by Beatles manager Brian Epstein, the Cyrkle and Billy J. Kramer. Following this segment, Steve Marinucci will present some Beatle news briefs and share insights on new Beatles merchandise just in time for the holiday shopping season. Now here's Steve Marinucci.
I am very, very pleased and overjoyed to have with me two people that are well known among Beatle fans. And the first is the guy is everywhere, Charles Rosenay. And he's an entertainer, an author, a show producer, a DJ, a promoter. He's done it all. Charles,
a ghost hunter.
Did I forget anything, Charles?
Oh, yeah, about 25 things, but that's all right. These are the main ones.
Okay.
He's a ghost hunter.
He's a ghost hunter.
A tour organizer and, former editor of a Beatles magazine and an actor and all of the above. But we're here today for a very special reason. But I'll let you introduce Chachi and then we can talk about that reason.
And I'm also very, very pleased to introduce Chachi Loprete, who hosts Breakfast with the Beatles in five states.
Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, and just added Minnesota. Rochester.
And what's really special about this is he and I are related, cousins.
We are cousins.
We are cousins.
We're all related. We're all part of this Beatles family. Hello.
Right. That's true. But in our case, it's
going on there.
There are some blood relations here. But we're here to talk about the event that you guys are hosting this weekend in Arlington, Mass. At the Regent Theater. It's called Memories of the Hits, the 60s, and the Beatles. It's headlined by the Cyrkle with Don Daneman. Special guest is Billy J. Kramer. And the third band on the bill is 60s Thunder, which Charles has told me is a local group. But anyway, this is great. This sounds like a lot of fun. How did this come about?
Promoter named Gene DiNapoli is a great guy. Has put on more than a few shows. He's been a promoter for many years, but he's done some really great Beatles shows at some universities in New Jersey, and he's doing a show with the Duprees in Connecticut. So him and I have known each other as friends and as business associates for quite a while. And he put on a show with Billy J. Kramer, actually on Long Island. And I came out and was a special guest selling my books, my Beatle book at that event. And then he got the inspiration to do a show with the Cyrkle, who I can't remember the last time they've come to the East Coast. I'm just very excited about it. I know Dan Daneman because he's contributed to my books, and the band has been around with as much as the original members, maybe Chachi knows better than I do, as possible from the beginning. And a guy named Daniel Costin, who represents them and is a real great broadcaster and podcaster and writer and photographer. I think he's part of their getting out and doing more and more shows. But the fact that they've got them together with Billy J, together with Chachi, together with me, I mean, what Beatle fan wouldn't want to come out and have a great evening of fun and fabness.
Yeah, and the theater is fantastic. It's like 107 years old. So many legends have been on that stage at the Regent Theater, Charles being the biggest of all of them. And it is the best popcorn in the Boston area in Arlington. And the great thing is it's a 3:00 show on Sunday. And there's a third band called 60s Thunder, a local legendary band in the Boston area with Ian Martha of the Onos. And so they'll be opening. And Charles and I, along with John Logan, another stage partner of mine, we do some Beatle events together. He'll be joining us. And we're going to bring some prizes, Charles, to give away throughout the evening. Bostonopoly, USAopoly gave us a Beatles Trivial Pursuit game to give away from Hasbro. We have
Love
some vinyl to give away. We'll play some things on stage in between acts. Charles has no idea, but we're going to set it up and have a lot of fun. I love being with Charles Rosenay because he's a ghost hunter too. And I am obsessed with the haunting 1963 film. I watch it over and over again at my house. I have it with the sound off. It is the best haunted house movie. And I always love to talk ghosts with Charles because I'm a firm believer.
Steve, I think what it is, Chachi and I have known each other for so long, and our Beatle roots are so, continue on for, infinitum, that when we do talk about things, we tend to talk about things that might not be Beatles sometimes.
That's
And
right.
and Chachi goes on this haunting tangent. And it's very funny because I guess one of the few people who can relate to it being in the haunting business. But I'm really looking forward to sharing on the stage with you, Chachi, and I'm going to share it with you, Steve, now in the audience, is how far I actually realized that I went back with Billy J, because one of the first emceeing jobs I ever did while I was in college radio was a show which was headlined by Peter Noon, and Billy J was the opening act. And this was
Mm.
and this was probably 70s or 80s. I'm going to look it up so I'll know for sure at the show. And then shortly after that, I, inquired if Billy J would come and do one of my events. And as it turned out, it didn't work out for one of my conventions. But in those days, I was doing these occasional Beatle weekend getaways in the Catskill Mountains. And would you believe we had this historic weekend where one night it was Tony Sheridan and one night it was Billy J. Kramer.
All
And it
right.
was Pines, the now defunct Pines Hotel. And it was just probably 100 or 200 fans came and went swimming and ate and played softball. And then at night got to, hear all the special guests and got to hear bands and all that. It was a very unique event. And I just, as I was thinking of what I can say on stage for Billy, I remembered, some of those early connections. And so I thought I'd share them here and give Chachi a heads up of what I'm going to be talking about, besides whatever free form things come to mind on stage.
Well, this is all very exciting for me, Steve, because I've been on the radio for over 40 years in Boston, 30 plus of those, a Beatles show, and I've never once interviewed Billy J.
Wow.
My first
Really?
time was last Monday. We did a half-hour session along with Beatles professor David Gallant from Suffolk University for our podcast. We had a lot of fun. And then just last night, I was part of a after film discussion after watching Midas Man, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was a very sad movie, the story of Brian Epstein. Very sad, but it was a great film. And Billy J is mentioned because obviously he was in one of Brian's acts that he supported and managed. And so last night was great, and it's kind of like serendipity because I gave away a chance. Someone in the audience won tickets to the show to see two bands managed by Brian Epstein a week later in Arlington, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
pretty
Maybe we
amazing.
can. How did the Cyrkle get their name spelled that way? Do we know, guys?
Yes, in fact, you know this, Charles.
I know,
Charles,
but it
he's
was the
setting
type of
me up.
question I could set you up for.
Go ahead, Chachi.
Well, I had Don on the show before. He's a great guy and a great jingle master too, really, really good guy. And he told me a story of how Brian Epstein came up to him. He had a business card. Brian had his own business card, and on the back, John had written the name of the band. And Brian said, "Listen," to Don. He said, "Here on the back of my card, John wrote how you should spell Cyrkle, Cyrkle." And I said to Don, "Well, man, where's that business card?" And he's like, "I have no idea."
Um,
So he lost the business card. But John Lennon told him how to spell the name of the band.
Right, right. Yeah,
Thank you,
I had
Charles.
Don on this show back several years ago before the before COVID, and he was a great interview. There's actually audio of one of the Cyrkle shows at a Beatles show. If you look on
Hmm.
YouTube, it's lousy audio, but it's definitely you can definitely hear them do Red Rubber Ball as I recall.
Yeah,
Wow.
Suffolk Downs, Suffolk Downs. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been. I think it was Suffolk Downs, actually. But yeah, the whole story was amazing, and the fact that they were, that they were still hanging around together. There's still something going with them. I mean, it's great. It's really.
I hope they'll be selling their merch because a few years ago they released their first studio album after 55 years. And
Wow.
it's really good. It's really good. He gave me a top 10 list in my book of top 10 Beatle lists, as I mentioned. And it's really funny because,
You
you know,
didn't, but I'm glad you did because I was going to ask you
oh, I
to
didn't
plug the
mention
book.
that. I'm sorry.
No,
I usually mention that about 50 times during an interview. I'm
yes, I know you do.
and but what's surprising is his first choice in his top 10. You know, there's some that you get, okay, In My Life, A Day in the Life, Here Comes the Sun. Okay, those are expected ones. His first one is Words of Love, and he puts a wonderful example of John and Paul harmonies done in a very smooth way with a lovely lead guitar and a warm light rock version of the great Buddy Holly song. Nobody else, I don't think, even picked Words of Love as their top 10, let alone be at the first one on their list. So I hopefully, I don't know how it's going to work, if there's going to be, signings afterwards or if the bands will be accessible, but I would love it. And if we can work this out where I sell signed copies of my book and then we get the members of the Cyrkle to sign Don Danemon's chapter, that would work out really
Yeah.
well.
Well,
It
I do
would.
know that there's a ticket to go to a 2 o'clock meet and greet with Billy J.
Oh, yes.
The show starts at 3.
Right.
So there'll be that going on.
Right. The
And
VIP.
Billy has a new record out
He
because
does. I hope the
I've
performance
seen
there.
the information on Facebook. I don't have it handy here. Do you know about the new?
Well, you
Uh,
know what's great, Steve, is I don't know if this is the particular record, but we have a mutual friend, Billy J and I, Tom Hambridge,
mhm.
who has produced Billy before. They've been friends. Tom is a Boston guy who
Oh,
went to Nashville, produces all the Buddy Guy records, won Grammys. And so he has worked with Billy J. And I thought you might know who Tom Hambridge is. He's a very successful Boston guy who moved to Nashville, writes music for everybody. He's really, really
Doesn't
good. His first band was TH and the Wreckage from the 80s.
okay. Oh,
Tom
from the 80s.
Hambridge.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's after my time there.
yeah.
another factoid is that the last, guys, every year I bring Beatle tour groups to Liverpool. We've been doing that
Right.
since 1983. And the year that we recorded inside Abbey Road Studios, which I think was 2 years ago, Billy was there the week before.
Ah,
He recorded on his seventh, was it eight? No, his 80th birthday.
oh
He
my God.
recorded a whole album there, or some tracks, and I think they were produced by our friend Lawrence Juber. So
Oh yeah.
one of
I
those
think I
all-star
remember hearing
events.
about
Very
Yeah,
nice.
and I don't know if the new song is from that recording session or if it's even newer because Billy's still writing and Billy's still recording, and I love that.
it. Yeah, that's fantastic. And for everybody that's in Massachusetts and New England, I mean, the Beatles were such a big part of the New England history.
Well,
You know,
whenever your city is a destination for the Beatles, you go down in Beatles history, and they came to Boston twice. So we were lucky because I
I you know
remember
I only I
kids would
only
do
remember them
petitions and
once.
stuff.
I only remember them there once. I remember the Suffolk Downs.
September 12th, 1964, the Boston Garden.
Wilson Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I barely remember the Boston Garden, but I do remember Suffolk Downs, and I remember that because my parents wouldn't let me go.
Ah, well,
I
last night I was at an event with a woman who sat in the first row for that show, and she shared
Wow.
her recollections, and so that was great.
Wow.
Wow, wow. Boston really doesn't get the credit for the Beatles that they should have, and one of the and Chachi, you probably know about this. WBZ used to get imports from the UK, and they used to play the songs on the imports that weren't released in Boston before they were released by Capitol.
Wow,
So
that's an
we heard a
interesting.
lot of. I remember that very much. That we heard a lot of Beatles songs early that the rest of America didn't hear.
Well, I was always carrying my transistor radio. So,
Yeah, I mean, those were the days. Barney Ginsberg used to listen to
woo
Barney
woo.
Ginsberg, and
That's right.
that recreated program he did for the cruising series. I love it. And
Yeah,
the
I'm listening
event.
to it right now on my
Are you
radio.
really?
See, Charles?
Oh wow,
On my radio, I'm
I
listening.
love it. He's got
I
his
like that. I love that radio
little
too.
AM.
It's a Pepsi Cola machine. That's good. That looks great.
Yeah,
But
they
the
gave
but
them to the Beatles when they were in New York.
I
oh
was I was
my.
I was a Bronx boy, guys. So I was listening to WMCA, WABC, and probably WINS. And I
When we moved to the New York area, I listened to them too. In fact, I had my reel-to-reel tape recorder going that night, and they were playing "What You're Doing," and they cut it right in the middle. And Cousin Brucey goes, "We're here at the Warwick Hotel with the Beatles," and my tape is rolling, and I'm
wow,
going, "Oh
Wow,
my God!"
good for
But
you.
that's on the WABC website with all that.
on their archives. Yeah.
Yeah, with all the archive stuff. Yeah, that whole exchange with the Beatles is there. But yeah, those were the nights, and it was crazy. Listening to the Beatles coming in and out of the hotel live on WABC and Cousin Brucey, and those were fun days. Those
Such
were fun days.
excitement, such excitement. And when we have events like the conventions, or Chachi does a lot of shows with John Logan when they put on their events, and now the one that we're doing this Sunday, we try to get an inkling. We try to capture a little of the mania. You're never going to get what was, in the day. There's no way, of course. But we try to still keep that spirit alive and make sure people have fun at all the events. You'll get to see Ian Martha and you'll get to see that band because they are so on the spot. Ian actually did a solo show opening for Pete Best on Pete
Oh,
Best
really?
past New England tours, and he's played a lot of my Fab Four music festivals in Connecticut. He comes to Liverpool occasionally over the summer and does a lot of shows by himself and with other bands. But people who are going, they're either going to go for the Cyrkle or Billy J or both of them. But guess what? If they come early enough to hear all three bands, they're going to love. It's going to be just a great afternoon of fun with Chachi and myself and Mr. Logan and with Ian and with Billy and with Don. And it's going to be like a whole family of Beatle fans together.
The show starts at 3, the meet and greet's at 2.
So if fans want to come and meet Chachi and myself earlier, they should come a little earlier. I'll have copies of the book of top 10 Beatle lists. I know Chachi always has goodies to share, and I'm really excited. We're gonna have some contests and give away some stuff.
Spend some extra time with the great Charles Rosenay, who travels the world,
He
bringing people
does.
to Transylvania, to Liverpool, and everywhere in between. One of these days, I want to go on the Transylvania one with him.
I would love for you to come with me to Liverpool first and
Yes.
Transylvania whenever you wish. It's real
When's
fun.
when's the next Beatle tour, Charles?
It's August 24th through September. So we do it every summer, end of August. This will be the 1983. So 43rd year, 44th
Jesus.
year
Oh my
of doing it.
God.
Yeah.
He is the hardest working man in show business, Steve.
He really
Charles
is.
is, you look on Facebook, he's spinning a party, he's doing this, and I'm like, I just want to stay home. I'm tired. But
I
he's out
know.
there doing his thing. No, we both do a lot of shows, but you do a lot of different things. So you have a great career. And Charles and I would exchange letters back in the day. I have them all on a pile over there.
He and I
Uh,
were lucky enough to meet one night outside the joint in Las Vegas.
Yes, that we connected, after being friends and being fellow examiner editors for many years. Steve and I met in Vegas when McCartney did his show at the Joint. We met outside, and then we hung out a little inside too when we were able to hear over the music a bit. And yeah, we've been friends a long time as well. Sure.
Yes, that was quite a show. My ears still haven't recovered because they did Live and Let Die in that little theater, and good grief, it
Now, you
was.
must have been at the Boston Garden in '76 for Wings Over America.
I wasn't in the area at that time.
I was there,
I
and
was
it was
gone.
that was the first time I saw Live and Let Die with all of the pyrotechnics, and it was pretty
Oh
amazing.
wow. He did it.
Yeah.
I didn't know. No, I didn't know he did it with the pyrotechnics
Oh
with
yeah, in the
Liz.
Boston Garden, it was amazing, and there was a certain smell in the air. I will never forget it. It was just crazy.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. I think the night that I remember the best was the night at Candlestick Park. Seemed like that was the biggest one that I have ever seen.
Now you're saying you went
Um,
to Candlestick and saw the Beatles? Is that what you're
So
saying?
no, no, no. I went to the Candlestick McCartney show
Oh,
where they
okay.
closed out when they
Sorry.
closed out
that was very definitely
Candlestick Park.
historic. Paul loves doing venues that are, I'm looking forward to see if he's going to add an East Coast leg and which new places he's going to play. We're hoping that he does a show in Liverpool as part of a European tour because I think there's a new cricket stadium. And knowing him, he would want to launch and play a show there. And if he does, I will tell you guys there's an exclusive. If he does play Liverpool, and we're expecting him to, I will be doing tours to see him in Liverpool, which will overnights, parties at the Cavern, our regular things that we normally do in Liverpool, plus see McCartney live in concert in his hometown. So I'll let you know if that happens, guys.
He's the most
Maybe
connected.
we can do a Zoom call from Liverpool,
Oh yeah,
Charles.
Charles.
That would be
Charles. Charles is the most connected American in Liverpool. He knows everybody. I mean,
well,
if
he
you need
also
to
knows him in
use
Hamburg too. I
if
mean,
you
he
need
knows.
to if you need to use George's bathroom at his childhood home, Charles can arrange it. He'll make it happen.
Drop my name and they'll let you into the toilet. There
And
you
let
go.
me tell
There's the
you,
best. There's the best
maybe the
representation
bus makes
I
frequent stops nowadays, Charles, for
have.
your guests. But yeah, Charles is the most connected guy in Liverpool.
Have either one at a time? What individually have you guys got coming up? Charles, I'll start with you. What have
Uh,
you got coming up besides the obviously besides this?
Right. So our friends in the Boston and New England area, if you're into the paranormal, the Salem Paranormal and Horror Convention is at Salem State University. Nothing to do with Beatles, nothing to do with rock and roll, but I'll be hosting it and I'll be there from 11 o'clock to 6 o'clock this Saturday, November 15th. Then the 16th, of course, it's the show with the Cyrkle and Billy J. Kramer and Chachi and myself and other great surprises, including 60s Thunder and John Logan. Looking ahead, I've got next year a Fab Four Music Festival, which is what my Beatle conventions have morphed into. We haven't announced the date or location yet. But if you want to look at the information on the Liverpool and London tour, which is our magical history tour, you can go to liverpooltours.com. It'll have all the current dates. It'll have a way to get reservation forms, and we're about a third of the way actually sold. We're there took a lull during COVID, but we're back with a lot of great people going, and it's a lot of people who are saying, wanted to do this all my life. I've only read about Liverpool in books. I've only heard it in songs and seen the postcards. Well, you get to live it. You get to follow in the footsteps of the Beatles, and we do London and Liverpool, and it's 10 days of just Fab Four fun. And liverpooltours.com is the best way to find that. As for my book, and then we can move on to Chachi promotional stuff. It's the book of top 10 Beatle lists, and the website is book of top 10. It's the number 10, not TEN, book of top 10 Beatlists.com, which is also available on Amazon. But I will be signing copies at this event. And next year in January, I'll also be signing copies at some libraries in Massachusetts. So I'll be posting those on my Facebook as well.
Okay.
I wonder if I should bring some of my T-shirts to sell.
For sure. Actually,
Okay.
where can we listen to your show? I
Yes.
understood we have
Yes, that was my
Well,
next question.
in Minnesota now, which is really
yeah, we're in Minnesota, which was really odd because the station in Vermont and Minnesota sought me out and asked if I wanted to be on the air. And the thing about Minnesota is, I have a friend, Scott Siegelbaum, who travels with May Pang,
Oh yes.
and he grew up in Minneapolis. And he called me up and he said, "I heard you're on KRPR in Minnesota." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Dude, that's a great station." And it is. First of all, it's a public station, so there's no commercials, but it's a classic rock station. And
Hmm.
it's unlike any other classic rock station. I listen to it and it goes deep into the catalog. It's not the same 40 songs, so it's a very creative classic rock format. And it's located in the same city they broadcast out of where the Mayo Clinic is. So there's a lot of international guests flying in and out. And so, yeah, I'm on there. I'm on WVTK in Vermont, WUMB in Boston, Seacoast Oldies in New Hampshire and Maine. And, and we're talking about things coming up, although this is next summer. We've already started promoting it. Breakfast with the Beatles, my show, is sponsoring the Fab Four next summer, July 25th and 26th, South Shore Music Circus and Cape Cod Melody Tent, respectively. And so we're running a contest right now with the venue where you go on my Facebook page, there's a QR code, and you get entered to win 4 tickets and a meet and greet with the band. So we're promoting that right now. We're heavy into the Cyrkle. And we have a new podcast out with Billy J. Kramer. So we have a lot going on. So I
And the
appreciate
Fab
that.
Four are tremendous. I saw them
Such
years
good-
ago at Disneyland, believe it or not, and the place went crazy.
Yeah,
place
they're
went
great.
nuts.
And John Logan and I host both shows, and we have a booth on site, and it's great. So we love the Fab Four, and because of the miserable weather here, I love talking about July. So it's so
Yeah.
cold here, Steve. It's
Let me
very
ask you
cold.
Let me ask 2 quick questions about current Beatle things. Number one, what did you guys individually think of the Power to the People box set?
Well, it's nice to have. I love Sometime in New York City as an album, but I do have the box set here. I play it on the show. I think any new releases are great to have.
It's been a good month for Lennon's. Sean Lennon also released a book and he did a signing at the Strand Bookstore in
I
New York.
know.
And you're able
Just the other day.
to order
Yeah.
signed copies of that. So between that release and there was another, what was the other one-to-one video? There's been a lot of good stuff that's come out. I haven't played the whole collection yet, so I'm not going to comment on it. I'm more excited about Anthology coming out on Disney.
That was going to be my next question.
I'm sorry,
Anthology.
I beat you to that. I'm
Yeah,
so
me too.
excited about that. My kids love the Beatles and they love them on such a different level than I do. But when we watched Get Back and it was over, and I go, guys, that was a lot of hours. I'm really proud of you. And they go, what are you talking about? We wish there was 10 more hours. And I,
Great.
whoa, that was the greatest answer I could have gotten. So I'm really excited to watching the anthology with them
Oh,
first, second to last.
well, look at that. Charles has great kids, very smart kids you have.
Yes.
And then you have the Wings album, you got the Wings book. I mean, there's always stuff coming out and record store days coming. And so it's just constantly, which is great. I'm excited about Anthology 4 to hear songs like If I Fell, outtakes of If I Fell. I mean, I can't wait to hear that stuff.
Yeah.
They did an early release of Take 3 of I've Just Seen a Face. Love it, so there's some things in there that I have not heard before.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Definitely gonna be a lot of fun. Guys, I want to thank you very much for doing this. Everybody just kind of jumped together to do this, and I
That's
really
right.
appreciate it. And it's been a whole lot of fun.
Well,
Charles
Steve,
and
I'm a-
Chachi, good luck with the event. Charles, we will have you again on. I'm going to have both of you guys on here again. And if something's coming up, please let me know.
Well, I
But,
will say, cuz I appreciate being on the air with you. We are related. He's a cousin,
Yeah.
and we're on different coasts now, which is very sad.
yeah, unfortunately.
I wish you were here with 39-degree temps outside.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Charles, I can't wait to see you on Sunday, my dear friend.
Sunday, brother.
Have
Love
a
you.
good time in Salem.
Thanks. I'll see you soon. Thank you, Steve.
All right.
Thank you, Steve.
All right. I'm gonna hit the button here. And here are a few Beatles news briefs. Ringo Starr just announced 12 new tour dates for spring 2026 with his current all-star band of Steve Lukather, Colin Hay, Warren Ham, Hamish Stewart, Greg Bissonette, and Buck Johnson. The tour will hit California, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. I am happy to be touring again in the spring, Ringo said. See you all in June. Peace and love. The next 7 dates for Paul McCartney's Got Back Tour 2025 are at KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York on November 14th, Bell Center in Montreal, Canada, November 17th and 18th, TD Coliseum in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, November 21st, and United Center in Chicago, Illinois, November 24th and 25th. And we previously mentioned Man on the Run, a new documentary about Paul, will premiere February 28th on Prime Video. Billy J. Kramer has released a new single, Go On Girl, which was recorded at Abbey Road Studios with the help of Lawrence Juber, Jeffrey Allen Ross, the Jukebox Beatles, and Jeff Perholtz. It can be found on the music streaming services Apple Music, Spotify, and Amazon Music, and you can see the video on YouTube. As you heard in our interview with Charles Rosenay and Chachi Loprete, he'll be appearing at 3 p.m. Sunday, November 16th at the Regent Theater in Arlington, Massachusetts with the Cyrkle and 60s Thunder. Abbey Road on the River, which runs May 21st through 25th at Big Four Station in Jefferson Park, Indiana, just announced that Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees will headline the festival on Sunday, May 24th. Peter Noon of Herman's Hermits is headlining the show the day before on May 23rd. Lawrence Juber appears May 22nd through 24th, and the Cowsills will be appearing May 23rd to 24th. And there are numerous other Beatles and classic rock tribute bands appearing at the festival. Tickets and more information can be found at arotr.com. Peter Asher is appearing December 19th at Musical Instrument Museum in Phoenix, Arizona. He just completed a tour of British states opening for Graham Nash. Beatles on the Beach takes place March 12th through 15th at Misner Park Amphitheater, Boca Raton, Florida. Info can be found at BeatlesOnTheBeach.com. And finally, Joey Molland was included in the In Memoriam segment of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's broadcast November 8th. That's all for now, but we have more to come, so stay tuned. We're coming up to the holidays, and of course the Beatles will have product for you to buy. Some of the products, such as the Wings Anthology and Wings, the Story of a Band on the Run, and Ringo's 4 solo vinyl albums, are out now. The Wings book, in our view, is the more necessary of the two Wings buys. It's an oral history of the band and brings in comments by not only the band members but others as well. It's quite well done. The Wings Anthology is 2 CDs and is also available in Blu-ray with 5:1 mixes. The mixes sound very nice on the CDs, but it's nothing that you couldn't have done by yourself if you have all the albums. The CD mixes are from the past, there's no new ones. The Blu-ray, however, debuts 5:1 mixes, and it's only available through his website and the Super Deluxe Edition website. It really should be more available, Paul. And we just got the anthology in our hands as well, and it's very interesting. The new unreleased tracks on Volume 4 that haven't been on CD are very exciting. Volume 4 should be on everyone's wish list, and we'll have more to say about this in a future show. And finally, I just got a hold of a copy of the December Mojo with John Lennon on the cover and the interview with Sean inside. I was hoping there would be more about the thinking that led to the removal of the song from sometime in New York City, but there wasn't. Again, here's what Sean had to say about it in the magazine. He said, removing it, quote, was hard because it wasn't just something that I decided personally, it's something that everyone was advising. No one wanted to put it out. He added, I think it's a really important song, but times have changed, and I'm not going to bring any more negativity to my parents than I have to. Given the loud reaction to not having the song, he may have done the right thing. As it is, the box set is great, and we say again that it's well worth having, and we recommend it. War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko, a 2023 independent 11-minute animated short film written and directed by Dave Mullins and winner of the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film at the 2024 Academy Awards, will premiere December 1st on YouTube. The film features John and Yoko's song Happy Christmas, War is Over, and was also based on a story by Mullins and Sean Ono Lennon. The film score was composed by Thomas Newman. You can find the trailer on YouTube.
Thanks very much for listening to our podcast today. If you enjoyed our program, we'd really appreciate a positive review at the place where you get your podcasts. Apple and Google love positive reviews, and it really helps us. If you don't already, please subscribe to our show so you'll get our newest shows right away. We have some great shows coming up. We would love to hear your suggestions for the show, so please write to us at BeatlesNewsBriefs@gmail.com or catch us online on Facebook in our Beatles News and Information group. If you've missed any of our past shows, you can hear them at marinucci.podbean.com, and please tell your friends about us. We appreciate you all for listening. Now here again is Steve Marinucci.
Thanks for being with us today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't subscribe, please do. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, this is Steve Marinucci saying,
Be seeing you.